Good morning, everyone. So, it is Tuesday. It's the day that we call Tuesday. It's the month that we call December. It's the date that we call the second in the year that we call 2025. So, here we are at the end of the year. It just went by so fast, didn't it? The older we get, the faster it moves. Here's Luke. He's all curled up over there. Can you guys see him? Can you? I don't know if you can. Let me look. Can't see what you're seeing. Yeah, you can barely see him. Yeah, he's tired. He's all curled up in a little ball. I've just thrown some more wood on the fire, so it's nice and toasty down here. Let me see if I can move you down a little bit. I don't know. Once we get the cards going, I'll mess with the view. So I hope you're all having a beautiful morning. Who's still exhausted from all the work they did for Thanksgiving? I am. I am. That's the other thing. The older we get, the longer it takes us to recuperate, right? Oh, goodness. So I hope you're all having a beautiful morning. It is right now about 25 past 6. We're in the season of darkness, but it will start lighting up again next month. So, good morning, everyone. Don't follow any links or emails in the comment section of the channel soliciting you for anything. That would be scammers. Don't do it. Don't do it. Not good. And the healing intentions are always set for you folks. That's just how it goes. So if you so choose and you want that, go ahead and decree that for your highest and greatest good. Only and always, and then go ahead and breathe that in and just allow that to integrate into the body. So, I've been going through the comments of the videos slowly, and as per the usual, I'm behind. And I know that one of you told me the exact questions that you had around the black goo, and I went back in this morning trying to find it just a few minutes ago, and I couldn't find it, and goodness, the morning's getting long in the tooth, right? So I have to get on. But I do know, I mean, we've talked about this, and I know that you had experienced throwing up like a black goo. And I know that in the comment that you, or in one of them, because there's been a couple, you said you found 3 people that have experienced the same thing. And I can't remember if you said you were one of the 3 or if you had found 3 others besides you. I was looking for the comments, and this morning YouTube isn't even letting me see all the comments. Like, it says that there's a certain amount of comments, but I can't find them. So, and that happens from time to time. I don't know what the deal is with that. So anyway, I think we can start this reading. I'm going to just start with, obviously, only the truth is welcome here, right? Only the truth is welcome here. Only the truth is welcome here. And we don't care if we like what we hear or if we don't like what we hear. We just want the truth. And so I'm decreeing that, you know. No need to blow smoke up our asses to make us feel good, right? Because all we want is the truth. And obviously you guys know that we are only working with our our creator, the creator of all in creation that loves all in creation, right? And we are working directly with our highest version of self. And we are opening our crowns and our hearts. And we're setting our decrees that only love is welcome here. And that my spiritual team, that which loves me and has my highest and greatest good for intentions, only and always help facilitate and translate the messages that we get, so that I understand what's being said and I can relay that to you. So I think that we can start. I think what we want to do is we want to start with letting the universe talk to us a little bit. Their perspective of what has happened to you and the other people that you have found that have said that this has happened to them. And I'm sure if it's happened to you and 3 others, or if you're one of the 3, that this is something that has happened to others. It's just not documented or talked about, or you just haven't found those testimonies yet. But I know somebody who, when she was going through her healings and her trainings to be a healer, she spoke of a huge release where she was just crying and crying. I think perhaps at this point there was a shaman that was working to heal her and help her clear her field. And she said that she began vomiting. Now, and I know this person, I know this person. We've talked face to face, right? We've been in contact. She's another healer. So, she didn't say if what she was vomiting was black, but she did begin quite a vomiting process. And the tears that just wouldn't stop. And words coming out of her, she said that she herself was surprised to hear, right? Like a total clearing, purging. So let's hear from the universe, spirit. Let's have them help us translate a message from their perspective of what is going on. First, we're going to start with what is going on within your body, your auric field, your energy. What is happening with you when you begin to purge the black, gooey vomit? So that's what we want to know first off, from your perspective, with one card. Show us what's happening. Please and thank you, with one card. And then I want a story. Show us what's taking place within the human body when they are throwing this stuff up. All right, I'm going to cut them. The Emperor. You're stomping out. This is a very powerful card, you guys. So that's a higher arcana. This is big picture, you guys. Look at what he's doing. He's killing this little... I see everything different. I'm backwards, but I'm trying to pull this back. So this is my Deviant Moon deck. And you'll see he's stomped on this little thing that looks like a little devilish type thing. And the sword is going through it. And he's killed it. So, and that's a 4, you guys. That's creating balance in your body. So you're stomping out and killing off, when you're vomiting, some form of a parasite or a energy that has been creating an imbalance in you. So you're purging something that has created great imbalance within you. And I'm not going to say just within your body, because this is a higher arcana card. So I would say a great imbalance within you on all aspects, right? Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You're killing something. You're getting rid of something that was causing harm to you. You've stomped it out. Okay. Which makes perfect sense to me. I mean, not very few people say, oh, I threw up black goo last night. This is definitely a big picture scenario, right? So with that being said, let's look at this. That's even like, you could even perceive that as a little negative entity. You know, like some people would use the word demon or something like that, right? So now, thank you for that piece of things. Let's take a look at the story that you would like to tell. The pathway and the story around throwing up the black goo. Please and thank you. I took all my fall stuff down. I'm getting ready to put up my winter stuff. I have snowflakes that I put on the windows, snowflake stickies, and I leave those up all season. Something festive for the winter time. I'm slow to roll. I would have liked to have had Christmas decorated, but, you know, I've had a hard time doing it. When I'm grieving, it's hard for me to muster energy. Sometimes I find I'm walking in circles. But I know that my brother-in-law and all of my family on the other side want me to find some Christmas spirit for the holiday season. So I'm working on it, you guys. Working on it, slowly but sure. I'm going to get started hopefully today. So let's get a story around the black goo and the purging of some sort of parasite or demonic entity or dark entity or whatever label you want to put on this. Let's go a little further and get the story in a 7-card spread. Please and thank you. Ooh. All right, 5s, 2 5s lining up. Can you guys see this? I'm going to move you back. And I'm going to try to bring you down a little bit. The lighting's not good, but I'm going to tell you right now. First card up is the 5 of Rods. Great change, right? And directly across from that is the Hierophant, which is also a 5. And in this deck, it's opposite for me, because in the other deck, in my Rider deck, which I use often, right here, I've got it over here, the Hierophant is the bad guy, and the Emperor is the good guy. And in this deck for me, because I read intuitively, not traditionally, and these cards have meaning for me. In this deck, it's the opposite. So for me, with the Deviant Moon deck, the Hierophant is the great healer, and the Emperor is the bad guy, showing you that there's an imbalance. Something had to be stomped out, overpowered, right, in order to create some balance. So we have 2 5s here, which represent great change. So you went through great change, but let's continue laying these cards. All right. Wow, this is interesting. Now just remember, okay, this is just what I'm getting. Take what you want, toss the rest, use your own intuition. You know, what resonates, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But I'm going to read to you what I am getting here and see what you think of all this. All right, so let's start with the pathway. So let's remember the question, you know, what's going on with you when you're throwing up this black goo? What's actually taking place? And it's definitely something parasitical, something not good for you, something really bad, right? Could even be like demonic or whatever, but causing a great imbalance. And what you did was you purged it, you killed it, you stomped it out. It's a good way of saying it. And it came through you and you purged it. So I'm going to say that when this took place, you were undergoing some form of ritual or some sort of healing modality, something, but other people were involved in helping you with this. So other people were very much involved. And to help you move this out, okay? So it wasn't something that you did on your own. It was something that it saying it took a community or a lot of people's energy or a lot of different energies. So it could have even been like, you know, spirit guides but it's not something that you were able to move on your own. It took a community to do this. Does that make sense? And then we come up and you've got the Page of Wands. And so always think of the page. That's a young energy. But with this, he's like skating on thin ice, okay? But there were safety measures that were put in place for you. So the ritual or the healing or whatever it was that took place that helped you purge this seemed a little scary. But there were a lot of safety measures put in place for you. Like, you were safe. However, these people went about the business of helping you to purge this, you were safe, even though it felt sketchy. Okay? And then above that, we have the 8. And the 8 is highly spiritual, so you know that. And this is a great awakening because her crown is all lit up. So this is coming in from very high frequencies, helped you with this. A lot of what you purged were emotions that weren't serving you. So there's something about emotions that you held within your body that either allowed something dark to merge with you. I want to be careful with my words. I don't want you thinking that I'm saying, you know, oh, you were a real shithead. So, dark energies were drawn to you and you welcomed them. That's not it. It's like you had probably trauma and triggers and emotions, and you were more than likely one of these people, and I'm one of them. All right, I experienced that. It's over. Let's pack it up, throw it under the bed, pretend it didn't happen, and move on with our back straight and our chin out. And I did that for years and years too. And it's not good for us because we're not actually moving those emotions or healing them. We're just saying, okay, check, experience happened. Let's put it away and not be a baby about it, basically. But that's not good for us. So this buildup of emotion that you had within you is part of what brought on the chaos or the little demons that were actually kind of fighting against you. The little parasites, the little dark energies, all of this stuff. And I'm going to say it's more of a dark energy. It's not like you were throwing up tapeworms. It's a different type of parasite because we're getting religious type cards, okay? So it's a different type of a parasite. It's not like rotted tapeworms that turn black in your body and you're purging them out your mouth. It's a different type of a parasite. And it was causing a lot of chaos within you. And so something was happening within you. Something beautiful was blooming within you with this 5. You were going through a great change. The great change that you were going through, part of it was this great awakening to spirit, to a higher frequencies and higher dimensions. And through that change that you were going through, it almost feels like with this 3 above you that it was so emotional for you. It's like you knew that you were being eaten by something. You knew it. And that's why you sought out community, or it could be spirit that you sought out. It could be your guides. It could have been God, both. But you wanted to climb higher because you knew you were going through an awakening. Your spiritual self was blooming. And your crown was opening. And all of the things that you hadn't wanted to look at, that you'd been tough about, that you'd packed away, or maybe even consciously forgotten, because our brains will sometimes do that. Our brains will actually forget things that we've endured in order to help us kind of maneuver through this world. But it wasn't working anymore. You were being swallowed, and you knew it. And it was impacting you enough to seek community to help you with this. Now, across from this, you've bloomed, and this is definitely a spiritual community, because across from that, you have that Hierophant. And for me, the Hierophant he is the great healer. He's incredibly connected in this deck. He does bring great change through frequency, prayer, energy. And it's all about saving people. And he's very passionate, and he's very connected to source with the gold. And he's very passionate. He's very trained. His faith is huge. He can bring upon great change via his words, thoughts, actions. He's very well trained. And it seems to me that the community of these well-trained people understood that what you were being swallowed by was attracted to you via unhealed emotions and vibrations, that there was a frequency, something or other going on with you. You could have been vibrating really low for a while because you were depressed or sickly or just in a rage state or angry or all of the above, right? But there's a frequency involved here. And when you contacted the community, you made the step to end the devil kind of whispering in your ear, which only gives more power to dark entities that were being parasitical with you, influencing you, whispering in your ear, making you feel bad, swallowing you up. You had some shit going on, and you had some serious help in clearing it. So I would be interested to know if this was like your own self-practice, self-teaching, reaching out to spirit, God, guides, or if you literally sought out a community. It feels to me, and I could be wrong, but it feels to me that you literally sought out a community. And it also feels to me, because of this 5 here, that you were always meant to be of a higher frequency, and that's why this was all attracted to you. They didn't want you to bloom. But inside you knew that you needed to shift, and you sought help for it. So the ritual itself looks as though it would seem sketchy, but it was completely safe. There were safety measures put in place with it, with that Page of Wands. So this is the beginning of the story that Spirit today is saying. And I'm going to ask a couple of questions about what this is exactly, because it does seem like it's both parasitical and very dark, okay? Created for dark reasons. And it seems as though you picked it up because you were meant to be like this rose, this highly awakened, highly spiritual, probably a healer. But you had some trauma, and this is this thing's way of blanketing your light. But you took your power back because you could feel things inside of you. Like you knew something wasn't right, and it looks like you sought help. Like you took your power back. That's what it looks like. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, let's get a couple more cards. The ritual was, you went through a lot during that ritual, because with the Page of Wands, it's scary feeling, right? It's scary. It's very sketchy feeling. But it had safety measures. Like you were safe in this purging. All right, let's see what else we get here. One more shuffle and I'll cut them. I'll lay some more cards on top here to complete that section of the story. Okay, so it would seem as though You were chosen. Again, this is covering that rose that's blooming in this chaos. So it looks like this is, call me crazy or whatever. We've got another 5 here. So great, great change. And it looks like you'd been being watched by things of the earth. Okay? You'd been being watched. Like I was saying, to tame your light. And this is the way that they were poisoning you with this 2 of Cups. If you can see, I'm starting to get light here, you might be able to see. But this is like a really bad, bad man. And he's pushing this innocent woman up against the corner, up into the corner. He's got his tail around her ankle. He's trapping her. And he's really bad. And, there's blood on the floor. He's poisoning her. She doesn't want to drink that shit. She feels sick to her stomach. Every single tip of her hair particle is lit up. And of course, with the natives, they believe your hair is your psychic antenna, right? And so in this card, it kind of depicts, in this deck, it depicts the hair lighting up as the psychic connection. And she's super psychic. So things of the earth were watching you because you had abilities and you weren't trained in your abilities, and your emotions made you an easy target. More than likely, your abilities themselves come through trauma you've experienced, right? You held on to abilities because of the trauma that you experienced. So things of the earth were watching you. You had special abilities. They wanted to poison you. They didn't want you to become the Queen of Wands. That Queen of Wands is like, she can be a good witch or a bad witch, right? But she has amazing abilities. She can manifest anything. She's got all sorts of psychic abilities. And I'm going to say, they didn't want you reaching your spiritual heights that you were meant to reach. Yeah. They didn't want you being the good witch. And that's why we have the 10, the happy ending. And your vibration was very lifted. But the warning here is with this, the Fool. Because you vibrate and you have gifts, your frequency looks different to those things of the earth that have watched you and deliberately set about the business of poisoning you so that you couldn't reach your full potential. The good news is you ended the chaos, you bloomed. This is a happy ending for you and all who are around you. You lifted your frequency very high with the Fool, and you did it really quick. Like this ritual that seemed sketchy, but there were safeguards in place of throwing up this black goo, literally shifted everything in a hot minute. The warning with this card, the Fool, is that you still have to be very, very aware. Very aware. That because you look different, because your frequency is different, that they're still going to try to poison you, because that is right there. So to keep the poison from coming back, you want to stay in this frequency of faith and high vibe and continue your spiritual path. Don't let emotions, negative emotions, come in and impact you. if you go through hardships, do the healing work, because you're always going to be watched because you look different. Okay? Yeah. Because you look different, your frequency is different with that King of Swords. Your frequency is different. You look different. You stick out. You have honor and integrity, and there's good things that you're meant to be doing with this King of Swords being directly in alignment with this Queen of Wands. So this is the story they're speaking to you today. And so always be aware, keep your faith high so that they're not sneaking back in to poison you. This was done to you deliberately, and they were able to do it probably because of heartache, trauma. Could be things happened to you that you don't even remember, but they were packed up and not looked at, not healed properly, okay? And this experience of this poison that they put into your body to create the chaos and then the imbalance was swallowing you. But you knew that because because in spite of what they did to bring you down, your soul still knew its purpose and was in the background fighting this the whole time. Very interesting. Okay, so this was done to you is what I'm getting, because you were being watched of things of the earth, and somehow this was done to you, okay? And what you threw up was very parasitical. It was very dark. Its key role was to create chaos and torment within you, to make you angry and want to fight with that 5 of Rods, to kind of swallow you up emotionally, to possess you enough so that your gifts and your light were not shining through. And it's because you have a purpose here. You have a role here, and they did not want you to reach your full potential. So you were targeted. And I'm going to say, obviously you were targeted by dark things. So with that, I want to ask the black goo parasitical stuff. I want to know the difference. I think you wanted to know if it was nanoparticles that had been put into you deliberately to do this to you. So you wanted to know if you were throwing up nanoparticles, if you had nanoparticles within you. The reading looked more spiritual than that, but let's check, okay? So now I want to know, the black goo, was it nanoparticles? What we call nanoparticles here on the earth plane. What is that what she was throwing up? Please and thank you. If anybody else on the channel knows of anybody else that's also experienced this, please go ahead and comment. If you've experienced it, or you know of anybody else, or you've heard of stories, comment so that there can be a communication going on. And maybe some, just insight from other people if they've heard of, know of, or experienced themselves something very similar to this? Please and thank you. All right, so one more shuffle, you guys. Was this what we would call nanoparticles that she purged from her body? Please and thank you. Yes, you purged some nanoparticles with the healer, okay? That wanted to fall, so we're taking it. But my intention was still to take this one, so we're still going to do that. They were puppeting you. So the nanoparticles that were put into your body were, this is my yes. That's what you got rid of. That's what you were throwing out. And they were manipulating you with the moon. Because we got our yes with the Empress that wanted to fall out. And then the second card that I had intended to pull from the center of the deck is the moon, and the moon puppets. So they were puppeting what? Your emotions, because the moon is a highly emotional, women's cycles and emotions. People get crazy on the full moon. The tides, the waters are affected. So, yes, you threw up some nanoparticles, and these nanoparticles are parasitical, because we got that, and they were controlling you, basically. So, linking into you to puppet you in a particular way. The good news is, with this Empress, rejoice, you received massive healing. That's the secondary message to the Empress. And the secondary message to the moon is that all will be revealed. The moon wants to reveal the truth about what happened to you. So I'm going to shuffle these back in, because the piece of it that I find very interesting is that you getting the devil on the shoulder, right? And so, and that you're being watched by earthly things, which could be entities or people. So I want to know, maybe you do too, or maybe you already have these answers. I want to know, were there dark entities, energies, negative, non-loving, dark, hateful entities, the polar opposite of the light, right? Call them demons, call them whatever you want. I don't know that we have the proper names for anything here on the earth plane, to be honest. I want to know, did dark energies somehow influence human beings to manage a way to poison her with these nanoparticles? Please and thank you. Is that how the nanoparticles got inside of her? Because it looks to me like you were targeted. It wasn't random, oh, we're going to see how many people we can get with sticking this shit in milkshakes or whatever. It seems like there was a very deliberateness to this happening to you. That's what I'm getting, at least. Take from it what you will, right? Okay, so can you answer me a yes or no with that question, please, and thank you. One more shuffle, we'll get a card. Yes, you were targeted. That would be a big old yes with that Chariot. So this was done to you particularly. You were targeted. We had very dark energies that used humans or influenced humans or were riding around controlling the human vessels that managed to literally poison you. I mean, this was given to you somehow. With that Two of Cups that I got in this deck where they've backed you into a corner and they've literally poisoned you. So that's interesting. But the good news is with this card, the secondary message for you is you are protected moving forward, right? He's all protected. So you are protected moving forward as long as the 7, as long as you stay connected into that 7 frequency, which is highly spiritual. It, connected into the Christed consciousness, the Christed grid, and you continue to do what it is that you know you need to do to protect yourself, which is keeping that vibe very high and keeping yourself protected. So very interesting. So yeah, like it was meant to keep you from becoming who you are. And am I safe in assuming that the other people that she has, and this just wants to come out, so there's my 2 answers. So I was already telling them what I wanted to ask next. So my question was, am I safe in assuming that the other people that have also been affected that way were targeted in the same way that you are? And I got the Queen, and she's the Queen of Pentacles. And that Queen is a yes for me, right? The secondary message is she's caring for children, okay? And so in regards to the reading that we're doing right now, I'm going to say that you were targeted and that this was done to you, yes, as we get the yes from the Chariot, because there were, whatever you want to call them, dark energies, dark demons, things that wanted to blanket your light, influencing humans to do this to you. And I'm also going to say it's probably a caretaker that you had as a child. Some adult that you had as a child, and more than likely, whoever these other people had as well. So I'm going to say this was done to you as a child, and it's because they wanted to snuff out your light. So someone that was trusted, that had exposure to you and to the other people that you found the stories about. It was done to you as a child. So this had been something growing in you for a long time to influence you and how you behaved. It was puppeting you. you had this parasite changing who you are so that you couldn't reach your full potential. So that wanted to follow up. That's my yes, with the secondary message saying this probably happened to you from a caretaker as a child. Okay. And then the other card that flipped right within the deck is the star. So that wanted to come up, and for me, that's the star. So you're a star seed, okay? You have many gifts. You know how to walk between the worlds. So you are one of the people grounding heaven into earth, right? Lifting vibration everywhere you go just by being you. And so you were targeted as a child to try to stop this from happening. But the secondary message with the star is that you managed to transform through it all anyway. And so you have reached your full potential as a star seed who came here with a mission, whose frequency stands out, and you were targeted, but you won. You won. So, but the advice here is, yes, you need to continue to hold your vibration high, keep your spiritual armor on, your armor of God, keep doing your self-protections. Because there was a warning in that with the Fool that you're always going to stand a chance of being bitten if you're not constantly standing in your power spiritually. But that's what I'm getting so far. And, you know, you can take what resonates. But very interesting. So I want to see now if they just want to give me 3 cards. Now that we know all of the people that, because I asked if all of the people that you know of that were impacted or affected in the same way, if this was kind of the same reason, and it's yes, you were all impacted, chosen for that reason. Somehow they contaminated you as a child through a caregiver or somebody that you was exposed to that was trusted. So just really interesting. Can you show me the path forward for her, please? The path forward. I believe a lot of the people who are very spiritual and meant to shift vibration here go through a lot of trauma, and they are being attacked, you know, to try to traumatize them to keep them from reaching their full potential. Because if you can screw somebody up enough, it's easy for them to get caught up in drugs and alcohol, crime, negative feelings, emotions, vibrations, you know, especially if they're wounding you as a child, right? So, yeah. Anyway, let's see your path forward. Your spiritual path forward, please and thank you. Geez, I can't manage to get a good shuffle in. All right, let's take a look at your spiritual path forward, and we'll end. And then you can in this video give me your questions, because I couldn't find them, and the other day my app was crashing. See your spiritual path forward. All right, so you've started a new path forward. So we're always climbing higher, right? We're on the spiritual path. We're not meant to hit this particular level and then just stay there. We're meant to climb higher, climb higher, climb higher. So right now it's saying your spiritual path forward is the Ace of Cups. So that means that you're starting another, you're climbing higher. You're beginning again, right? So more emotional cleansing is going to come forward with this Ace of Cups, right? And love. So your heart chakra is opening more. You're going to be learning new gifts that you have with those wings. She's learning how to fly. So you're leveling up again, okay? Right above that, you have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is abundant and fair. And the King of Pentacles is focused on the earth plane. And so it looks to me like your purpose here, or what you're leveling up to, is to focus a lot of love and a lot of your gifts and a lot of healing into the earth plane so the earth can heal and be abundant. And that's really a big piece of something that you're going to be focusing on if you're not already moving forward. You might be having new ideas triggered in you right now for the love of the earth and things that you're envisioning you want for this earth plane. And so with this right here, it says that's really a huge piece of your purpose, earth healing. Think about that. When you're earth healing, you're healing everything below the surface, everything on the surface, everything above the surface, the whole atmosphere, right? So that's quite a path, okay? And at the very top, your job here is to create balance with this too. You're part of the balance that's happening with many people here on the earth plane. It's part of your path, creating a semblance of balance. But you got to do it by pulling the vibration way, way up. And that vibration is going to come through you. So lift your vibration high enough so that you actually feel discomfort because you're gifted. So what I'm seeing in the cards is that you have a very high frequency anyway. And when you have a high frequency, you don't so much feel uncomfortable with other frequencies. In fact, frequencies lower than yours, you may not even feel, right? Because your frequency is resonating with a much higher vibration. So what they're saying now is they want you to lift your frequency so high that you begin to feel the resistance to other frequencies again. So you're going to go higher so that you're feeling those higher frequencies. And you're going to integrate those frequencies into your body so that they're no longer uncomfortable. And then once you've integrated those frequencies into your body so they're no longer uncomfortable, you're going to go higher again until you start resonating with higher frequencies that you can actually physically feel. And you're going to focus on integrating those into the body until you become that, so that now you don't feel that. And the whole point is at the very top that you keep climbing higher and higher and higher, because you're bringing balance to the earth. When you integrate these into your body, you're grounding them into earth, which is doing the earth healing, okay? So stay in the love vibration, climb higher, 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 higher. Know that you're doing great healing work here, and seek out new gifts, learn to fly higher. So that's what I'm getting. I hope that you got some value out of this. I know it's not the exact questions that you wanted. So I checked this video and put your exact questions into this video's comments, and we can go further. But I hope you got a little value out of this, and that's what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. All right. I hope everyone listening got a little value out of this. There's so much to this world that many don't understand because they have not yet experienced. And a lot of people have very closed minds. I know people like that. If they didn't experience it, if they didn't see it, then it can't be real. There's so much that many of us are experiencing that many are not, and it's real. And when people start moving the ego out so that they're open to hearing other people's experiences, we can share knowledge and enlightenment that way. But until egos are worked on and set aside, we're being held back as a race. The ego gets in the way so often. All right, you guys, I love you all very much. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you got some value out of this. Please let me know the rest of the questions. And that's what I'm getting. I don't know. You can let me know if any of it resonates, but that's what I'm getting. Okay, I love you all, and I will see you soonish. Take care.